signing on for one final time. Welcome to a brand new episode of Throw Like a Girl Radio, WBCR and CUNY's first all-female sports talk show. I'm already tearing up, not even kidding. I'm Alyssa Paolicelli.
And I'm KaraAnne and Galante.
Today is the end of an era. As the end of the hour, Kara and I hang up our headphones at WBCR. Thursday, May 12th is the date, a historic day for WBCR and Throw Like a Girl Radio, a day that will always be cherished by Kara and I. Before we start the show, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's come back week after week, semester after semester, for the past 3 seasons to listen to us. If you want the memory of of Throw Like a Girl Radio to live on in your newsfeed and timeline, if you aren't doing so already, please follow us on all social media accounts, facebook.com/ThrowLikeAGirlRadio, Twitter @ThrowLikeA_. Kara's literally sobbing. And if you want to email us for any sort of podcast, you can email us at throwlikeagirlradio@gmail.com. Take it away, Kara.
Oh my god. Unfortunately, as Alyssa mentioned earlier, it is an emotional and bittersweet day for us because it is our last day on the airwaves and we have the graduation music playing in the background. But throughout the show, Alyssa and I will be reminiscing about our favorite moments as well as what is yet to come for Throw Like a Girl Radio. But first, it's time to get down to business because, as usual, so much has happened in the world of sports. And it's for the good this time, which is great. The Metsies are on a hot streak. The Yankees are as cold as ice. And New York has left the Stanley Cup playoffs and NBA Finals are still in session. And I'm seriously convinced that Steph Curry is a superhuman or an alien or something. He's not human. I'm just bringing that up now. We have a great show for you today. And if you guys want to take into this greatness, since it's our last show ever at Brooklyn College Radio, the number to call is 718-951-4444. The number again is 718-951-4444. And we're going to start our show, like we usually do, with our Woman of the Week. And this woman is kind of special to us because we've played competitive softball growing up, and it's only fitting to name our Woman of the Week Monica Abbott, who's the first female athlete in U.S. team sports history to sign a contract worth $1 million.
And she signed a contract with the Houston area Scrap Dogs, the National Pro Fast Pitch expansion team, in its 13th season, which is crazy because no one talks about it, and it's only 7 seasons behind the WNBA, as a 50-game season, and she will be 37 years old when the contract runs out. It's the most lucrative contract to be given to a female athlete by an American professional sports franchise. As we know, we've talked about this in the past, but individual female athletes make more money because of the demand of tennis and golf and in an international
team
audience.
Sport, they don't make us. They make at least, I think, $20,000 a year it is now for them. For this league anyway, because the cap hit for each team is $250,000.
The league commissioner had a really great quote that I liked. Her name is Cherry Kemp. I think it's a proud moment for National Pro Fast Pitch, but I think it goes further than that. I think it's a proud moment for women in professional sports in this country. I feel glad that it's happening in the league, and I'm glad that we're going to lead the way in some respects. The International Women's Professional Softball Association was established in 1976, again by our girl Billie Jean. She also helped found that. She's just a force within women's sports. She seems really to come up every week after week.
I know she has.
Having some type of impact on someone we're speaking about.
She's involved in every single female sport, I feel like.
Yeah.
Everything. Even
she's just been a force behind that.
Made her staple in tennis all of her career. And now she's getting involved in softball as well. And we talked about it a couple weeks ago, she's involved in the soccer federation. And just talking about this contract, too, she might not even get the $1 million in the end because half of her contract is based also on attendance and the attendance that comes in. I think about, 100 people come watch these games, and if some of her salary is based on that attendance, do you actually think it will reach $1 million by the end of her contract?
Well, the way it's structured, it's her deal pays a base salary of $20,000 for each of the next 6 seasons, and like you said, with the attendance bonus. But apparently the owner of the Scrap Dogs in Texas, her name is Connie May, and she's been a tycoon
Yeah, basically. She's an entrepreneur.
Right, in Texas, and she has a very big softball background. Her daughter played at Texas A&M, and she seems to be involved in the softball world for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very, very, very determined to win. She said the only way pro level becomes what it needs to become is to give some real merit and some real validity to get some real corporate backing behind it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to be payday for us, payday for me. Putting Monica on the field is winning, and I like to win. And if I can win, I'm happy. And if it fits into Monica's mission, what we're doing out at the park, because it's empowering women, that's the statement Monica wants to make. So she's behind it, she's backing, and she's ready to.
Yeah.
I like how she's kind of treating it like this is business.
Yeah,
just
it is
like
business as
else.
usual. It's not a shocker that she's getting paid $1 million because she is the best female softball player in the world.
Like everyone likes to talk about Jenny Finch because she's more of a public figure, but Abbott
her
has
stats
the numbers.
speak for herself too. Yeah, as you were about to say, last season she went 13-1 with a .31 ERA and 149 strikeouts in 90 innings, and that's phenomenal compared to other female softball players and even baseball players in general. Like, who puts up these numbers? And this is an historic. Oh my goodness, this is our last show, and I'm just going crazy. But this is an historic moment for female sports in general, not just softball, because she's going to be the highest paid female athlete in the United States. And this also happened in Brazil. Brazilian soccer star Marta, she signed a professional women's soccer deal for $1.5 million. But the big thing with this is that the league folded in the end. So let's just hope that this league prospers and it continues to grow in the United States.
And hopefully, it has a very similar pay setup as the NWHL started off with.
Yeah.
A lot of their players don't make, they squeeze a roster of 18 players with a salary cap of $150,000.
Mm-hmm.
So few players earn more than about $20,000 each and make low to mid four figures in the 3-month season that it is.
But they're in their 13th season
right,
too.
so they obviously have established structure and an established brand for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that hopefully this just shines. It's a publicity thing, so more people know about it. More people will get to go out to games.
I never knew about this to begin with.
And softball is, I think, in the recent 5 to 10 years has taken off in popularity, especially in places where it's hot pockets, like down south, even in Long Island. Like, we don't play baseball all year round up here, but there's such a big hot pocket of softball in Long Island.
Even college softball now, they've been hitting big numbers on television too.
Exactly.
They've been seeing millions of viewers to even watch these college tournaments as well. And softball is just a growing sport, it's a growing entity, and we'll see where it takes and where it goes through next season.
Yep. So that's our final Woman of the Week.
And I think she's well-deserved.
And there was an interview on ESPNW, if you want to check it out, between Jessica Mendoza and Monica Abbott.
Even Jessica Mendoza, she faced her too, and she's like, she's the best in the world. There's no doubt about that. And now we're going. We
have our next segment, which is our Woman of the Week to watch, and this may be a little narcissistic of us, but we chose the two of us. I chose. We'll say it this way: I chose Kara, and Kara chose me.
Yes, because I thought Alyssa is the woman to watch in this industry, and since it's our last show, we just want to talk about how we actually started the show and how this was kind of like a match made in heaven, Alyssa.
It's kind of been a love story ever since.
It has. You're like my best friend now. We're growing partners, and we're gonna let you guys listen to past shows and past sign-ons we had. Even our first show, it was
a little bit later.
It was a little bit later, but I just wanted to talk about how we started the show. I think it was in winter break was starting, winter session. I get an email, and I was the whole fall semester I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna do a show, I'm gonna do a sports show, what should I call my show? And I get this email, and I'm like, who is this girl, Alyssa? And then she's like,
it was such a formal email too. I'm like, dear KaraAnne.
Oh yeah, I think I might have the email
and
on me.
We posted it on our Instagram.
Yeah,
if you search They're Like a Girl Radio on
it
Instagram,
was so
it'll
formal.
come right up. But
It said, she wrote, "Hey, Kara, my name is Alyssa Paolicelli, and I got your contact info. I hear you're as big of a Ranger fan as me, so I was interested in speaking to you about possibly doing a show together next semester. I am on a sports radio show right now, and I just need more time to talk NHL. I want to also be able to highlight women in sports as well. Let me know if you would be down. We can plan a time to meet if you are. Thanks, Alyssa."
So then Kara texted me like a half hour later. I was like, yeah, I'm totally into it. We met in the library a few days later and then realized we were basically the same person in two different bodies.
Yeah, it was.
We both work. Yeah, we were both like, oh yeah, I have work that day, so we can't go. And I'm, oh yeah, me too. Where do you work? She's like, City Field. I'm like, yeah, me too.
And that's just where this whole thing started. And I'm proud of what we've developed and what we've accomplished so far.
Yep. And hopefully this is it's the beginning of the end of something else for the two of us. I mean, it's the end of the beginning of something else is what I meant to say.
I know.
So it's just
only goes up from here.
Closing a door for one chapter of our sports journalism careers, and is going to be able to lead us. And it already has led us to a bunch of other different opportunities.
Yeah, it does.
So look out for us. I hope to see Kara in a locker room one day.
Yes, maybe we'll be working together in the locker room. Yeah, maybe we'll be behind a mic one day. You never know, in a national market.
Yeah, so if any major radio, GM is listening,
Any program directors, we're here for you. We tweeted a bunch of you guys out.
We have a solid foundation, I think, of a show. So, So
I think you should call in if you guys want to call in 718-951-4444. So that was it. That was our last ever Woman of the Week and Women to Watch. Now we're going to take a little break, and I think this is very familiar to a couple of Mets fans because Bartolo Big Sexy Colon hit his first home run ever at the age of 42, and here is the historic home run call.
His first hit of the year. He drives one. Deep left field. Back goes Upton. Back near the wall. It's out of here. Bartolo has done it. The impossible has happened. The team vacates the dugout as Bartolo takes the long trot. His first career home run. And there will be nobody in the dugout to greet him. This is one of the great moments in the history of baseball. Bartolo Colon has gone deep.
I want to say that was one of the longest home run trots I've ever seen, but I think that's how fast he runs.
And now they'll flood up the tunnel and give him his just due.
Throw Like a Girl Radio is back with myself, Alyssa Paolicelli, and KaraAnne Galante. We are with you for about 45 more minutes. If you want to join our conversation, the number to call is 718-951-4444. We're going to be talking some baseball and then talk a little quick hockey. And then
our two favorite sports. We got to end it with the bang. We got to talk about baseball and hockey, and we know the finals, the NBA championship finals, and playoffs are in session.
And I'm just really happy that we get to talk about Bartolo Colon's home run before we go off.
Perfect timing, Big Sexy. Thank you so much for doing this. I think a lot of people are saying this was one of the greatest moments in baseball history, even witnessing it.
Right.
Gary Cohen had mentioned it's one of the greatest baseball moments in history, which I think it was. As soon as he hit a home run, I was screaming and running around my house. And 31 seconds it takes to trot around those bases. Just take it all in. And James Shields, who was the pitcher who gave up the home run.
Yeah, I probably wanted to just crawl under a rock and die because that's just 42 years old.
Yeah.
And you see the guy swing, but he knew, if you watch his face in slow-mo, he knew exactly what he had done as soon as the ball hit the bat. Yeah. He knew it right away.
You kind of know when you hit a home run. If you hit it on that sweet spot of the bat, you just know when it's out of there. And he was holding the bat, running around the bases. He didn't even know what to do because he never did this before, so you don't know. But that ball was rocked out of here.
Fun fact about this.
Give me a fun fact. I love these fun facts.
So the Topps baseball cards made a baseball card of Bartolo Colon's home run, and it broke Topps baseball card sale record ever. The company sold over 8,826 cards of 42-year-old pitcher hitting a home run from Saturday. The card went on sale at 11:30 and stopped production 24 hours later. And the director of product development, Jeff Heckman, said it was the right player in the right market and it happened on a weekend. So it was kind of like the perfect storm for sales.
Perfect storm and perfect story.
But the only other card and not even did he break the record, he totally crushed it. The last card to break a record for sales was Jake Arrieta's no-hitter sold before Colon's for at 1,800. So he almost got 7,000 more sales. Which just proved, honestly, if you went on Twitter, Twitter is meant for those types of moments.
Twitter blew up as soon as it happened.
Insane. And I remember someone saying a couple weeks ago, if Bartolo Colon can't retire until he hits a home run, and now he can.
And now he could. And I don't want him to retire, though. The way he's been pitching lately, keep pitching the way you're pitching, Bartolo. And he also broke some records, Bartolo Colon. He's the first Major League player to hit a home run at his age. And his first home run at the age of 42. And he is the second oldest player to ever hit a home run behind Julio Franco at the age of 48 in 2007. And ironically enough, Julio Franco was in a Mets uniform when he did it. So it's only suiting that he would hit a home run as well. And Also, there's the 7-line army for the New York Mets.
Right, they were there.
One of the fans in the 7-line army said that if Bartolo Colon were to hit a home run, he'd get a tattoo.
Oh, yep, I saw it on Instagram the other day.
And soon enough, Bartolo Colon hits a home run, and he went to get this big tattoo of Bartolo Colon's face with the 7-line army on top and on the bottom the date. And it was a big tattoo. Just
it
to
wasn't
commemorate.
even like a little thing. It was his whole...
It was his whole arm.
Yeah.
Whole upper arm. And I think that's dedication there, Met fans. I'm proud of you. We're all sticking together.
And a Met
here.
fan actually caught the ball and gave it to Bartolo. And he always keeps a ball from every single win he collects.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to keep the ball and the bat, but he is going to donate part of his uniform and a couple other things to the Baseball Hall of Fame to commemorate the home run. So,
and also Bartolo Colon is going against Kershaw
tonight, and I think he's 0 for 2. I just read a stat online that he's 0 for 2 against Kershaw batting, because now that's relevant.
Oh, we got a call.
And the Mets joked around about him being a possible pinch hitter, and then following game. I like the use of the humor. So we have a call.
We might have a call. Let's see. Hello.
Hello,
Hi, who's calling?
it's Rocco.
Hi,
Rocco, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? Just wanted to say you guys are great.
Aw, thanks.
Rocco.
I'll be honest, I haven't watched most of your shows, but when I did, you guys didn't disappoint.
Thanks, Rocco.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now I have a question.
Sure.
Obviously, the Mets have huge expectations coming into the season, and I think up to this point they've met those expectations. But do you think this is the year that the Nationals play like they've been expected to for the past few years? They're playing extremely well so far.
Yes, they are.
I think that people are, worried about the Nationals when, obviously we have to beat them to get the NL East, but I think the Cubs are the big worry. Because I do think that the Mets, it's going to be neck and neck with the Nationals all the way to the end.
We might get a wild card
But
spot
I
at the
think,
end of it.
I don't know. I think if we don't win the division, it's going to be too competitive to get the wild card. But I do think that once the Nationals face our rotation as many times as they have to do, we might, be able to steal away with a couple of wins and get the title. But I'm more worried about the Cubs.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
No, yeah. Same way. Yeah. I agree with Alyssa on that one.
I agree.
Let's all agree here.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
You guys
Rocco.
are doing great. Have a good one.
See you at work.
Bye-bye.
Yay, we got a caller. Thanks, Rocco.
Thanks, Rocco.
So that's a good topic. It's a good segue, actually, into our next segment.
About what? How Daniel Murphy is just rocking?
Of course, we have to talk about that. How could we go out in an episode without Alyssa getting pissed off about Daniel Murphy? It's just not gonna.
Oh, and it just brought the Queen's accent at her just now, because Daniel Murphy brings that out of you, Alyssa. I don't know over here. But yesterday's game. Let's talk about not yesterday's game. Noah Syndergaard hitting 2 home runs yesterday. What is going on with the Mets pitching? They're the ones who are producing and winning the games for us.
Every time that kid gets on the mound and does anything, really, I just think, what the hell were the Blue Jays thinking? I don't understand.
I think they were geniuses.
No.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, maybe Sandy's a genius, but that's about it. Like, they gave up. Darno, you can make the case that he's not really,
I know.
Darno's
supposed to be the next Mike Piazza.
Even if we just got Syndergaard out of that deal, it was still worth it.
Yeah, no, it was.
So,
it was. And since Saturday, Mets pitchers are 6 for 15 with 2 doubles, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, and 4 runs scored. Now, let's talk about this. How about the topic of DH in the National League? Do you actually want to know after seeing how the Mets have been producing?
Okay, yeah. This has actually been pissing me off because everyone's been tweeting about you don't need the DH anymore, blah, blah, blah. But, okay, this has just been, it's a little fluky. Just like, Daniel Murphy's postseason run, it's never going to happen again. This is never going to happen again.
Well.
So, sorry, I just had to get that in there. I think that the idea of the DH, I don't like it because I think it changes the whole nature of the game. And
the whole market of baseball
in
general.
How there's more strategy that goes into producing a lineup that doesn't have a DH, I think. So I think that that's a deterrent. I also think it slows down the game, which is a deterrent. So I'm not for the DH, but as far as using the Mets pitching as the case to say you don't need a DH is irrelevant to me.
Yeah, that's true. I was watching the Yankee game last night. My first Yankee game of the season I'm watching.
Why?
Because I had to do it for work, and it was torture. It was brutal. Even the commentating. Oh my! I wish Gary Cohen was in that booth. But
I love Michael Kay.
I know, but it was boring. There was no chemistry between him and David Cohn. There's nothing there. I don't see it. But What I was gonna say
right
is, I don't even. What I was gonna say is the DH does prolong the game a lot because I was thinking, oh, the ninth batter's coming up. Oh, it's gonna be a pitcher. Forgetting that I'm watching an American League game, and it wasn't, and it just prolongs the game. And you're right. They want to make the game shorter, and they want to attract more fans to the game. And doing this, I don't think will do so. But
I think it's even worse for the game because if a pitcher does get a big hit like this, I mean, the Dodgers have had their pitchers come up big as well.
Mm-hmm. Playing Kershaw,
yeah,
he might be hitting some home runs. Hope not.
I mean, Scherzer, he also is known for hitting. So I think that when a pitcher does hit, it just starts more buzz around the game.
Yeah,
so.
It does. And people watch it. I'm going to obviously watch since I'm a diehard Met fan the next game that the Mets play, but just watching and see if Bartolo Colon actually hits another home run, that's enticing, and it's going to bring more fans to watch the game.
Agreed.
And it just, the Mets are home run hitters, and what scares me just a little bit is that will they just stop end this hot streak of just hitting home runs constantly and just because we have to produce. We've had a bunch of bases loaded last night's game and we just couldn't bring those runs in. And Noah Syndergaard had just hit home runs to bring in the runs. And we got another caller actually today. Let's see, who's this? Hello?
Hi.
Hi, who's
Am I on the air?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Tony. Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony. How are you?
So I have a question for you guys.
Yes, Tony, give me a question.
So we've seen the Rangers get eliminated the first round.
Why did I know that you were going to ask that?
Thanks, Tony.
Are you guys covered that already?
No, we didn't. We were going to do it later on, but what's up?
All right, well, we've seen the Rangers get eliminated in the first round.
Yes.
We've seen the Islanders, and listen, I'm not an Islanders fan, but I got to give it to them. They made it to the second round, put up a great fight against a great team from Tampa Bay, and I give them credit for going that far. But what do you see in the future terms of the New York Rangers? I know you guys are Ranger fans.
Yes.
So I want your input on what do you see in the future. I mean, players are getting older. You have Boyle, McDonough. He's been a great captain. I mean, we've seen some injury from him, but I think he has, very high standards when it comes to upcoming seasons.
Okay.
So let me hear from you guys.
What do you see?
Well, I think that McDonough could just, you can't touch McDonough.
No, you can't. He's the captain of the team.
Boyle and Girardi, yes. You need to figure out, you need to let these guys go. You need to save Girardi's legacy as a Ranger.
Yeah.
And, just buy him out because the longer he plays, the more people are going to hate him. And he's done so much for the organization and the franchise that I think that anything else is going to ruin his legacy with the team.
Yeah.
We need to get faster and we need to get younger. That core defensive guys. We
gotta build around our core. We gotta build around our youth. We gotta build around JT Miller.
Brady Skye showed us a lot of potential.
Buchnevich, he's coming up. He's coming up. We gotta build around our core. We gotta get rid of these horrible contracts. Even Mark Stahl too. We gotta get rid of that. He's getting older. And we just got to buy up.
It's just about getting faster defensemen.
Yeah, we do. And we got to build around Henrik Lundqvist because he's getting older and his prime is soon to be ending. And that Stanley Cup window is closing very soon.
That's true. And that's another big issue that I want to bring up. I mean, Lundqvist, in my opinion, in the league, in the whole NHL, to be honest, he's top there. He's probably one of the best goalies. I mean,
he's
in my
best
opinion,
goalie in the
Carey
world.
Price up there as well, except he's very prone to injury. So that's the reason why I don't give him the top contender for the best goalie in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's another huge problem that if he doesn't secure a cup with the Rangers, I mean, he's going to go to a team that's going to make sure that, they get a cup.
I think Lundqvist is franchised to begin with. I think when he's over his prime and he's done with, he'll probably go to another team. But right now, I think he's focused on winning the Stanley Cup with the Rangers.
I think that he is just a player that is built to not play anywhere else but New York. He loves the fashion. He loves the food. He owns a couple of restaurants in the city.
And they market around him too constantly. The king of New York. Like, where's he going to go after that?
He is not going anywhere.
No, you're right about that.
So I just think that it's a matter of building around him and quickly. I mean, we've tried to do that in the past with those big trades, the big trade deadline trades. But I think that we have at least 2 more years to him to play solid enough. But if we even get a stronger defensive core in front of him, we'll be fine.
And I think AV has to learn how to utilize his players a little better. And also, we don't have a backup goalie in the works. Maybe Mackenzie Skapski is probably the next backup we have left. So.
And Aranta, I mean, he signed for the year,
Aranta,
so
but
he's a solid backup.
He's not a starter, though, and that's the big problem here. We just got to work around Lundqvist, and that's
for
what Jeff Gordon's doing. He's trying to do, and I hope he does it next season.
No, for sure. All right, guys. Well, I mean, you guys basically covered everything, so I just wanted to say, I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your last show, and congrats to you guys doing this, and you guys are amazing, and keep it going even past this. Good luck with everything.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you so much, Tony.
All right, you guys have a good day.
Yes,
you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow, the most we've ever gotten. 2 calls in one show.
Wow, we're on a roll today. We should be doing this more often. Okay, so back with the New York Mets. Okay, Daniel Murphy, I think, is on Alyssa's radar all the time. So I think Kevin Long has done wonders with this New York Mets team batting-wise.
Yes,
and I think
agreed.
he's made a huge difference with Daniel Murphy's batting stance, even though he's went on to the Washington Nationals. But I think a lot of credit for the way the Mets have been hitting, even pitchers have been hitting, is due to him. What's
Wait,
up?
1 second.
What's up?
Let's just talk about it. You know when the Mets were in... Continue. Talk about Daniel Murphy. I'm going to find something and then we'll talk about it. My fault.
Well, I think that's all I have to say about Daniel Murphy. I don't know what else I'm going to say about him.
I mean, he's batting, what, I think 409 at this point. But
he's
at the same time...
398, so he's close to a 400 batting average.
I don't know. I just think that he's hot right now, and he's known for putting the ball into play, yes. But I think that we're fine. We significantly updated at second base, so I don't know why Mets fans keep talking about him. Like,
I know, I'm happy with
Neil
Neil
Walker playing in a defense, and that's
Did
what
you see
wins
yesterday
games.
that play he
Just
made
every
yesterday?
time a Mets
Daniel
fan tells
Murphy
me
can
anything
do that.
about Daniel Murphy, just think back to Game 5, please, and then your case is out the window.
That's true. He's not good defensively, this guy. You need an all-around great player. And the only thing he's been doing is hitting, it could be inconsistent at times. You know what's going to happen. It's the beginning of the season. Let's talk after the All-Star break, and let's see how his average and how his numbers are after the All-Star break. What do you think? Are we good?
Yeah, I think we are good.
Yeah, and also, I want to bring up Noah Syndergaard's tweet from last night. It gets honorable mention for Tweet of the Week because he said...
I didn't even see it.
It said, tonight was a direct result of Bartolo inspiring me to be a better man.
He's in love. That whole team is in love with
better.
The whole team is in love with Bartolo, and it's something that when I watch Bartolo play, and I was never a big fan of him because he doesn't show any emotion, and he always looks like he's like, whatever, just like. But in the last couple of seasons, right, and that's what I've come to like about him.
Yeah, he has a likability factor.
If you just see them all in the dugout, they all love him. It's this guy who just genuinely enjoys playing the game, and then you're reminded why you love baseball and you love things like this so much because of players like him.
Yeah,
and I really just am obsessed with all the bromances that Noah Syndergaard seems to have with all these players who don't speak English.
And I just love the camaraderie of the team too in general, because you see the Mets are here and the Mets are here to stay, and we're here to dominate the NL East hopefully and just win the World Series in the next couple of years. All right, our last Jackhole of the week, and the honors go to Bryce Harper. Congratulations. And you know why? At the bottom of the ninth, Bryce Harper was ejected from the game in the dugout when he verbally attacked home plate umpire Brian Knight for his strike zone after teammate Danny Espinosa was called down on strikes. So with this, and now he's actually suspended 1 game, and he was fined.
Because you're not supposed to come back. Once you're ejected from a game, you are not supposed to be on the field. And he came back out on the field when they
had to say the last word to the home plate umpire Brian Knight and just give he cursed at him obviously, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people rag on Bryce Harper a lot.
Me too.
He's
and I think they rag on him because he's the new face of baseball, and he's challenging the old traditions of baseball and but I think that you shouldn't act like that. When kids look up to you, you have no right to be on the field. The umpire was claimed to have said he wanted to throw Harper out earlier in the game. So, but now it honestly was something dumb on behalf of Bryce Harper, because these umpires talk. Brian Knight is going to call all of his buddies, and the next time Harper has a close call, I'm guaranteeing you it's not going to go into his favor.
No, it's not.
I mean, hey, Harper, you want to do all these things, throw all these F-bombs,
but you got to be nice to the umps because you never know what's going to happen.
I mean, as Mets fans, go ahead, do whatever you want because it helps us out.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get, and when we play you and we get the call,
we might get a call in our favor sometimes if it's a close strike. We might get in our favor because how you're treating the umpires, because sometimes the umps, they decide the game for you. And I don't know why he's appealing this, because this is something that's not going to be turned over in the end. It just shows you have to show respect to the umps. And if this is turnover, it's just disrespecting the whole ump atmosphere, I feel like. And
that was the same issue with the whole who is it that hit the ref in the NHL?
Oh, Dennis Weidman.
Right. The reason why that wasn't overturned, his suspension, because it would just basically the whole union, the umpire union, not actually a union, it might be, but I'm talking about just like the camaraderie between, they would have a fit. Yeah. So you can't do something like that, and not, as a league, you can't back them because they are your messenger of official regulations and rules. So
Yeah, it's just with Bryce Harper, it's just, I know, like I said before, he's very misunderstood. But off the field, he's done so much. He has his own foundation. He's not into drugs. He's not into partying. Like, you don't see him in the news as much. You see him in the news as the antics he does on the field. And you see he's a fierce competitor, but he has to learn how to handle that competitive side of him. I know.
he's also very young. We always forget this guy is young.
But sometimes when you're young and you're in a professional setting, you have to learn how to grow up. I think that's no excuse.
I don't think it is
21
either,
years old
but
and I'm a baseball player. I should know how to handle it.
I mean, the guy is playing like he's not however old, 23, 24 years old.
He's not playing his age.
At the same time, you have to remember that he hasn't gotten the chance to mature like a normal other MLB athlete because he hasn't gone through that process. He didn't never need to because he became such a force so quickly.
But you know what world you're getting into? And I feel like you should prepare mentally for what's about to happen and the challenges that you're going to face. And he just has to learn how to handle that fire inside of him and learn how to contain it sometimes.
And it's going to be a growing issue. It's going to be a growing pain for the Nationals. The whole organization is going to have to go through it.
It is.
But
they do.
He will learn, and he will still continue to get better. And as far as speaking from a Mets fan, let him do all this stuff to get suspended and let the umpires get pissed off at him.
Yeah.
It's
because I'm enjoying it. I don't care. He's Jackhole of the Week. He just got our last honor and our last show of Jackhole of the Week. So you're making a statement to us and to the rest of the world.
That's a new one, Kara. Kara loves sound effects, and she just added another one. Our tweet of the week this week goes to Jared Diamond. And it said, "Dear sports, pink clothes and equipment doesn't show that you care about women. It shows you care about men thinking you care about women." And I literally retweeted this and said, retweet a million times.
It was on Mother's Day, too. This is when the tweet happened.
Because I get the whole, I'm all for the wearing pink to support breast cancer research and awareness and fundraising and all that. But it just seems that sports in general thinks the only way to market to women is to wear pink and make pink stuff. And that's not true. If you're doing it as a cause for a certain cancer, but there are plenty of other cancers that affect women, that should also be. I just have an issue with it because it just seems that every time you go into a store or when people, when sports leagues claim to be like, oh no, but we do care about our female fans.
Look at our female line.
Like the NFL, we have a whole month where we wear pink gloves. Like, great. No,
like, congratulations, NFL. You have more problems than just wearing pink.
And the NHL does the same thing on, And the NHL is the one professional sports league that has the biggest female sports fan.
Yeah, it does.
Ironically so, because when you go to a hockey game, you never think that because there's the only place in the world there's not a line and the bathroom.
I was just gonna say,
like
the female restrooms, there's no line. I could just walk right in, which is, I think, it's a luxury to me. I'm so happy about that sometimes.
But I just think that sports need to be, hey, it's 2016. Let's do a better job of marketing to our female fans, and it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Actually talk to us as female fans. Be like, what do you women want to see in the league? Or the way you dress, or how you...
And there are some female fans that like that, but I don't own a single Mets, Rangers,
pink,
Jets thing that's in pink.
No, me neither. My mom got me like a Mets pink jersey once. I threw it out for Christmas. I never wore it. I'm like, Mom, do you really think... I always get the authentic jersey because that's what I like, and that's what I like with my team. And I know pink is how you identify females, like, in blue for men.
Not anymore.
I know, but that's how it is in the traditional sense. But sometimes we got to change and we got to move on with that. But I just sometimes I like pink because it grows awareness. I just said to breast cancer and things like that. But
that's a different
what would you change on a team then to just grow awareness to females and just to the female?
I mean, we can start off with disciplining your players correctly.
I know, but just like being on the field, not off the field, not what they did personally.
I don't necessarily think you need to have that. Maybe you
grow awareness.
Maybe you have a game that is discounted for females? Fans, things like that.
Then you have to have it for males too, because then males are going to be like, well, why don't I get a discount if this is all equality?
Because they always have to take everything back. We can't have one thing. I know. But I just think that this is not the way to do it. I don't think that saying, this is pink, females are going to like this. That's not true. I think there's a different way to do it. I don't know what the solution is, but I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it's a problem. Slope. Obviously, females like the sport because of the sport.
Yeah.
Not always, but that's a lot of the case. So just treat it as if it's every other fan. Just I think it's a problem of just making more merchandise that is female friendly, whatever.
I think
form-fitting and
or
things
like a
that.
V-neck, like it to suit our body type. But I also like the idea of also having pink because a lot of females do like that. So just find a happy medium too. It's like I remember when the NFL there was a video and there was like models walking with the NFL clothing line, and I'm just like, what are you guys doing?
The NFL has a deal with Vogue on YouTube, and Vogue magazine does a weekly, this is what you should wear to this game special, and it's very high fashion-y and very
I can't afford these clothes anyway. If you're talking to the basic fan, I can't do this. I can't buy these clothes. Are you crazy? And I think NFL has more problems than just being like, oh, let's just make female clothes and everything pink, and then the domestic violence issue and the sexual assault allegations and all these issues that are going on in the NFL will just disappear because I made a pink V-neck for you.
And the NFL went significantly out of their way this year. If you notice, between at least once a game, there was an advertisement for football is family, which is targeting, because if you target to a family, you're targeting towards women.
Yeah. Which I don't get, because there's a lot of
but
fathers,
statistically, and
single dads out there
speaking, that's what you're doing, and that's what they are consciously aware that they're doing. So it is obviously a priority in people's minds, because the more you expand to this, the more revenue you bring in. But I just think that they haven't found the correct way to do so. But enough about this.
I know, but I want to bring one more point. But with the Mother's Day and the pink and the baseball, I didn't mind that, because I feel like what Rob Manfred has done with things going on off the field, I feel like he's handled it well with the suspensions he's handled.
100%.
And that's why I don't mind that. But with the NFL and what they're doing, I mind it, because Goodell's not doing anything about it, and he's not handling it as well as us female fans would like.
No, I 100% agree. I think that the MLB has done a great job of putting a systematic disciplinary action into place when it comes to dealing with violence.
I feel like that's why in the marketing towards women, I don't mind that. But with the NFL, I totally take offense to it, because they're not doing anything.
I mean, I still take offense to the pink stuff being...
Yeah, but I feel like that's just how you were brought up. That's just our opinion on that. I feel like if it was another female fan, they'd probably love it, because they have that, I don't know, that girly side that they like. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Yes! 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 Yes!
So, guys, I'm not referring to wrestling, but I'm saying yes, 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 because the Islanders have been eliminated from the playoffs. So I just used your goal song back at you, Islander fans. Yes, yes, yes.
They lost 4-0 in Game 5, and they kind of put on, everybody but John Tavares kind of put on a pretty pathetic performance. The biggest news coming out of their breakup day was Hamonic is resigning his trade request, is taking back his trade request. Prior to the start of the season, he asked to be traded to closer to his home in Canada. Great news for Islander fans.
I know,
because
it
he
is
the
great
core
news.
of your defense. You can't have Calvin DeHaan, anchoring your defense, because he's
I don't even know who he is.
Turnover.
I don't even know who he is, so he's not even a name that I recognize. But Travis Hamonic, it's good. I think he finally realized, I know he had family issues back home, but I think he finally realized he got the taste for what it was like to be in the Stanley Cup playoffs,
Islanders,
and you want to be back there next season. I feel like going to a Canadian team, which did not make any appearance in the Stanley Cup playoffs, I think he got nervous and he just wanted to, I don't know, just stay with the Islanders. It's home for him.
Yeah, and I think that, he realized what the Islanders could become. They just got to make 2 solid pickups, get someone to be on the wing with Tavares, and then they need to pick up another defenseman to make him a top pair, and then they're set. The Capitals finally collapsed. They got out in 6 games with the Pens. The Pens versus Tampa Bay is your Eastern Conference matchup. It's going to be a very fast game, very hard-hitting game. It's going to be interesting to see. Think about Brian Boyle, Strawman, and Callahan. Those guys have been deep in the playoffs for the past 3 to 4 seasons, and that's very impressive. Carl Hagelin, I'm telling you, they put that guy on a team, and the team does well.
It's the Hagelin, Bonino, and Kessel line who are going to produce, and I'm excited to see this Capitals, Penguins, not Cap, oh my edge, the Penguins, Tampa Bay Lightning matchup, because I don't think there's one, I don't know who's going to win this. I don't know. Who do you think's going to win this series?
I hope Tampa Bay, because I can root for Tampa Bay.
Oh, Brian Boyle. I just hate seeing ex-Rangers being successful in the playoffs.
At the same time, I want the Blues to win. So my vote is for the Blues.
Yeah, I think I'm moving towards the Blues because they killed the Dallas Stars last
Honestly,
night,
this
6-1.
has been so weird because there have been games that are so close to going. I think there's been like 10 overtime games, and then there are games, elimination games specifically, that have been complete blowouts. It's so strange.
It's crazy.
So strange.
I don't know. It's just my NHL bracket is totally gone. It's gone after like the first round because it's so unpredictable.
Weird postseason, not even just because the
weird.
Rangers aren't in it.
I just hope the Blues win their first Stanley Cup ever.
Yeah.
Like, just give it to them. Let's do this because tonight it's Game 7 between San Jose and Nashville Predators. So I think San Jose might come out of that with a win. Hopefully, I love Game 7s. They always like.
No, they're exciting. They're always exciting.
Even though my Rangers aren't in it, but I'm totally fine with that.
It's a lot more enjoyable to watch Game 7 when your team's not in it.
I know it is. I just want to see what happens, but. We're going to now start to reminisce because we have 10 minutes left.
Oh, my God, 10 minutes. Yeah, so...
Now, let the tears commence.
This is the sign-on. It's really embarrassing
from
our first show ever.
Here it is.
We sound like babies.
I know we do.
Welcome to the first ever episode of Throw Like a Girl Radio, Brooklyn College Radio's all-female sports talk show. I'm Alyssa Paolicelli, the producer and one of the hosts of the show.
And I am KaraAnne Galante, and I'm also a producer and one of the hosts of the show.
It's Tuesday, February 3rd, my cousin's birthday. Happy birthday, Kristen. And
honestly, we gotta stop.
You never get comfortable hearing your own voice. I'm still cringe when I hear it.
Oh my God, Alyssa,
we were such babies, and it was so awkward.
I know. Oh my God. The chemistry between us, it was very weird. It's like
we only know each other for like a couple weeks.
No, I think it was like the first time we finally spoke about sports in person, and it was on air, and we were just like, "What do we do now? How do we start?"
I was so worried about the board, and figuring out the sounds and everything.
It's just, wow,
so weird. I hope we sound better than that now. Thanks for anyone who listened that first season, aka my mom. Shout out to my mom.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna get up one more other episode to figure out. We're gonna try and go. We had our first caller ever was Katie Nolan,
and I think we have sound from that, and she pretended to be a Brooklyn College student, and I thought this was very interesting.
I don't like when I find are all glittery and pink.
Actually, Alyssa, I'm gonna cut you off. We got another caller, so we're gonna see if it works.
We can do this now. Top button.
Hello.
Hi, is this Alyssa and KaraAnne?
Yes, it is.
Hi, how are you girls? Love the show.
Thank you.
Who's calling?
My name is Katie. I'm calling from Brooklyn.
Oh, cool.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the show. Listen, I was listening. You girls were talking about Ronda Rousey.
Yes.
You were talking about how it's not fair that people say she's got to fight a guy, right?
Yes.
I totally agree with what you're saying. I totally understand. But I feel like a lot of people think she should fight a guy because that's the only person who's going to be able to show her any sort of competition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
yes.
And I don't think it's fair that she needs to be, her accomplishments have to be graded on that fact.
I totally agree, but I almost don't think people are discounting her. I think it's more that they just think it would be nice to see someone who could actually challenge her, and there's just no other women in the UFC that are going to provide some sort of a challenge for her.
That's true.
I never thought of it like that.
But do you think that they would ever actually have a fight between?
Yeah, do you think that would actually happen?
I think it would be amazing. I think it would take a lot of planning because, it's weird. A lot of people are very uncomfortable with seeing a man and a woman fight.
Yes, I'm uncomfortable with seeing that.
Yes.
But I think if Ronda can do it, it's not to her detriment that she's a woman. She should be able to fight anyone she can fight.
Yes,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I just the point we were just making is that we don't like how other people are trying to. I feel as if they're trying to diminish her accomplishments by saying she needs to do that in order to prove herself. Which we both.
I totally agree with you. I can't do that accent anymore. It's really difficult. This is Katie Nolan. I'm just calling to tell you
my God, that's so cool.
And we just fangirled as soon as she said that. She really fooled us.
Honestly, I was like, I remember that was our first call ever. So I'm like, wait, people like just randomly tune into BCR and like they happen to catch our show. This like woman in Brooklyn. I was like, wow, we're awesome. And then I was like, it was even cooler that it was Katie Nolan. But I was like, wow, like random people just really listen. But
and she just won a sports Emmy.
She did
a couple of days ago for her work on Garbage Time and for her online presence too. And we're just proud of her for being our first call. And we're honored that she was our first call too. And she's been so successful with her podcast that she has. She comes out every Thursday, and her show is on Wednesdays at 12 o'clock at night, which is very hard for me to stay up. But I stay up and I tune in, and she's done a great job.
Yeah, I think that she's just done a great job of like even addressing the issues that we talk about week in and week out.
Even in a comedic way sometimes. Like it's lighthearted. It's something that's not like, okay, let's get down to business. But
because she doesn't shy away from it, but she
No.
also puts a twist on it so that people are not like, oh, we have to listen to this again. You know
yeah,
what I
and
mean?
you feel comfortable watching. Like, I can't wait to see what she says. And she does everything on her own. She has a little team with her, and she writes her own scripts and just does her own videos, too. And it's just amazing how much time and work she puts in, effort she puts in it. And it's well-deserved, that Sports Emmy. And we have one last audio that we wanted to share with you. And I think this refers to when the Mets unfortunately lost the World Series.
Yeah, I think this is one of our best episodes because it really just showed
Our passion
yeah.
and our disappointment and our shock that they actually made the World Series last year because no one expected this to ever happen. And here it is. Not go inning by inning.
No, I don't want to go in. I don't even
That's
want
why
to
I
think
don't
about
even-
this. I'm still in
Okay.
mourning.
Let's just go overall your experience in the World Series because we had the honor of actually working.
Oh, yeah, the honor.
Of working the World Series. But this
I don't know if I would call it that. No, I'm kidding. It was,
Okay.
It was really cool to be there and be a part of it. And our
Yes.
Professor Dumphy is outside
Yes.
making fun of us at our
Yes.
pain and
And our
misery as
misery.
Mets fans. Thank you for that.
yes, thank you. Oh, he came back. He came back for like
some
our
more.
current qual. Okay, so if you guys have been living under a rock for the past couple of days, the Mets have lost the World Series against the Kansas City Royals, and we lost 7-2 in 5 games, and we led
For 40, we led for 43
Yes.
of the 51 innings.
Yes.
43. But you know what? That's just irrelevant because baseball is
We
a
have
cruel,
to win.
cruel sport.
Yes.
And that stat means zero.
No,
nothing.
It means
Absolutely
nothing.
nothing.
It means nothing, and that's what's frustrating.
We've actually been on air for like pretty significant things to happen in New York sports.
I know.
Like the Mets making the World Series.
The Rangers making the Eastern Conference Final.
And, the Islanders leaving Nassau.
Yeah, the Islanders making the playoffs for the first time since 1993. And
The firing of Derek Fisher. Bunch of stuff.
I know. We've been on air for
3 seasons. The NWHL.
the NWHL. Oh, so since we're
A
reminiscing,
bunch of the, the domestic violence things that happen in the NHL.
Yeah, let's
NFL,
talk about
sorry.
what we have been through as Throw Like a Girl Radio and what we've accomplished so far. And I feel like we've been honored to work.
We've done so many things,
I
Kara.
know we
It's
have.
Crazy.
It's crazy. And it's been a year.
Yeah.
We started
A year
in
ago,
the spring. It's been a year.
February. We started the first week after the Super Bowl last year.
And this gave us the platform to actually pursue our career and what we wanted, and it's
Crazy.
It's kind of.
Don't
I don't think I would be here right now. Or be in the position
Oh
I am
my
right now.
God. Kara, stop. We still have 10 minutes to get through. 10 minutes.
And I'm like getting really emotional, but I don't think I would be where I am right now without the show.
Stop. You're going to make me cry. So, one of the major things that we've worked on since the show starting was our involvement with the NWHL.
Yes.
We got to witness history with that. We drove to Jersey a few times, drove all the way out to Marine Park.
I know. Even like practicing our stand-ups and going to practices and just covering the team and just working on our journalism. It's just been a fun ride this whole fall.
Yeah, no, agreed. And there was, now we work together at Citi Field.
I know, we're together, and we met Shannon Hogan, who reached out to us on Twitter, and how we met her during our first season, and the advice she's given us, and how it's brought us.
And Kerith Burke
And
from
Kerith
SNY,
Burke,
she's
who-
helped us a lot.
Who offered her help. Like, it's just been amazing the support we've received, even from these established female broadcasters, and we really do appreciate everything and the advice that you've given us. And just, I don't know what else to say. It's
and
big.
then, I just want to have to say thank you to my mom, who's literally listened and retweeted every single tweet we've ever put out.
Oh my God, I get it. Thank you for your social media support.
And who has listened to, I think she's missed one episode the entire time we've been on air. So thanks, Mom. Can't wait for you to be my manager when this hits the real airwaves.
When it's yeah, and I just also I want to thank my parents too, and for their support and just being there with me through this journey. Even though I've been a pain in the butt a lot of times, and I've just been very focused on just accomplishing a lot of things during my college career. I just thanks for dealing with me, basically.
And just thank everyone who's helped us to either prepare. Everyone here at the station who's always been really supportive.
It's a little family, and I'm so glad that I transferred to Brooklyn College.
Me too.
Because Alyssa and I, we didn't start here for our freshman year.
Yeah, that's right. Neither of us did.
I went.
That's right.
This
about that.
This is how weird the world works, and just bringing people together because it's insane. Like I went to Hunter College thinking I was gonna major in chemistry, and I'm gonna take the hardest classes I could possibly take, so I can make this $1 million, and not even going after my passion that I really wanted to, because I thought medicine was the way to go. And Alyssa, where did?
I was at Fairfield University for 2 years, and if any of my friends from there, I think some of you are tuning in. Love you guys.
Hi, Alyssa's friends.
Yeah, I was there for 2 years. I started doing radio play-by-play there, and then I loved it. I did some for the basketball team and the volleyball team there, and I realized how much I loved just being in the sports world. And then I was like, wait, there's no journalism program here. What am I doing?
I'm getting out.
So I came to Brooklyn, and and I'm sitting here now.
And you're right next to me. And I feel like the best part of this whole thing, I feel like after the first episode or broadcast that we had, I left this station and I had such a great feeling that like this is where I belong and this is what I want to do. I was so happy and excited, even though, as you could tell and as you guys heard, that was just a brutal opening. It's just so I just wanted to be here and I wanted to talk to you guys and I just wanted to talk about sports, and I think that was the moment when I was like, good, I'm finally belonging at Brooklyn College. And I don't know, it's just weird and it's corny to say. I don't want to end the show.
I know. Let's do rapid fire, and then
we'll cry some more.
I'll ask you first.
Okay, here we go.
So you put the Metsies because you love saying that. Will the Mets win the World Series in the next 5 years?
Yes, I think they definitely will. Our pitching is phenomenal. We have one of the best pitching lineups in the league, and I think we got this. I think we'll be fine. All right, Alyssa, who will win the Stanley Cup this year?
I'm going with the Blues. I'm going Western Conference.
You are?
Will Eli Manning be called Elijah in the wake of the Giants drafting Eli Apple?
Oh my, I hope he does, because you know what the New York Post is going to come out, when the headlines that are going to come out, please be called Elijah. I'll be so happy if this happens. And Alyssa, who will win the NBA championship?
Honestly, when hockey's on, I really don't care, but I'm going to go Warriors because
why not? Right? And that was it.
Yeah, that's the last time.
That was so if you guys want to call in for any last thoughts or just want to talk to us and say hi, the number is 718-951-4444. And what else? How should we end the show with the final?
I don't know how to end it.
I don't want to end it. I'm just going to stay here.
I think I'm going to say this. I am forever grateful for the opportunity that the shows have opened up for me. But more than anything, I'm just happy that it brought you into my life, because honestly, the last 2 years would have been really hard to get through if you weren't here. And I'm really gonna miss seeing you sitting across from me week after week. And
I'm gonna miss
I
you
don't
too.
know.
I feel like we're breaking up, and this is only the beginning. Everyone keeps telling me, Gara, this is the beginning. Like they're like, a girl was just the start.
I know. Me too.
As
but
soon as this
it's
doors
our
will
baby.
open, it's our baby. And I want this to be a bigger show than what it is now. And I just hope that we could create a podcast or do something just to continue this legacy at Brooklyn College, because guys, we were the first ever CUNY's first ever female sports radio talk show ever to be on air. And it's just been an honor to just have that and just to start something here. And I hope we could just continue.
I know, and
it.
I really would love for somebody who is, in the
PSA.
program. If anyone is listening and you're a girl and you're in the broadcast journalism program and you're into sports and you want a way to talk about it and build your resume, we would love for someone to take the reins and run with it like we have.
Yeah, just continue this legacy, because even the name itself, They're Like a Girl, it just always has this negative connotation, and we spun it and made it something positive, and like we could do this, and people actually listened and just take our opinions seriously, and I just love that about the show. Oh my God, Alyssa, and I'm so glad that you sent that email. I'm so glad the internet was created and email was created, because I don't think we would have ever met if you would have just clicked send and just had that push and the drive to just find a co-host. And I'm so glad, because then we would have had separate radio shows and it wouldn't have been fun.
I feel like our paths would have eventually crossed, because we're the only two who would do this.
I feel like we're like the only two sports, except Sam, who was our intern.
Sam.
And thank you so much, Sam,
you helped us out. And her last show is next Tuesday from 1 to 2. She's mic'd up radio. She was great, and she's also great.
She was our only intern. And I'm just glad Brooklyn College gave us this outlook I'm so glad to be here. I just don't want to graduate. Can we just stay
I want
here?
to. No. Let's get this straight. I do want to graduate. I want to graduate, but I don't want the show to end.
I don't want the
This
show
is
to
the
end.
only part I'm sad about. Literally the only thing.
Guys, Alyssa never cries. We're both in the studio right now crying on air. It's just, and if anyone wants to call 718-951-4444, and
We have
thank
2
you.
minutes.
We have 2 minutes, and thanks everyone for just who called and tuned in every week. We really do support. We really love the support and the criticisms
And we really
and the critiques
can't
and
thank you enough for
We really
whether you
can't.
tuned in live or whether you tuned in on the podcast or
Yeah,
on
and just-
YouTube or even retweeted a tweet for us,
Yeah.
favorited a tweet. It all helps. You know,
And just
it
taking
really
the
means
time
so
out of
much.
your day, honestly, to just listen to us for an hour, because sometimes we have our Brooklyn accents and our moments just dealing with our voices, and we're trying to fix that. And we have a caller. Let's see. Hello? Hello?
Caller, can you hear us?
Hello,
Hi.
Alyssa, Kara.
Hi.
Yes, hi.
Sam?
It's Sam.
Hey, Sam,
Hey,
what's
Sam.
up?
I'm listening. I heard the shout out. I'm over here crying. You guys are so sweet.
We're very emotional right now.
Oh, we love you, Sam, and thank
We
you
love
all
you,
again.
Sam.
And like we said, we should give you a shout out for your show.
Yeah, you really are amazing, too, and I can't wait to see
And
what
thanks
we
for
all
always
know.
being the go-to basketball expert for us
Yes,
because
thank
we couldn't
you.
get through an NBA segment
course.
without you.
Yes,
course.
thanks so much, Sam.
Just called to congratulate you guys on a really, really great show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh,
And whoever was calling before, please call back.
I know. We had another one.
718-951-4444. Thank you so much. I don't know. I could just say thank you all day because I just love, like, even people mentioning it and just telling people, like, oh, she's hosted for Like a Girl Radio, and just getting the word out there and spreading it. And it's
let's
just been a
really just
great
go
3
back to
years.
the whole point of starting the show, which was to say that doing
Yeah.
things like a girl isn't inferior or less than that of,
Yeah.
of a guy talking sports. Doesn't mean that we don't know as much or, watch as much or whatever. But
Or
it's just
whatever.
the point is to
It's
say that
frustrating.
there is an outlet for females to talk about sports. We are here and we're here to stay. We have just as
Yeah.
much of a right to be in the media as men do. And, there's been so many other people who have paved the way before us, and we just hope to
And we just brought a
continue.
light to a lot of these women, these successful women, and these trailblazers who've just broken the ceiling and keep breaking it even further. And I'm just glad I got to learn about all this stuff, too, because I feel like my show, if this didn't come, would have been about the Rangers and the Mets. And that was my sphere growing up. It was just Rangers, Mets, maybe Knicks, softball, and just, like, growing out of that and just becoming a knowledgeable sports fan. This show has brought so many... Oh, I really don't want to play the
I
Rangers
also
goal song
think
right
that
now.
we are the only show on WBCR who has given as much airtime as we did to hockey and as little airtime as we did to the NBA. So to end on a high, like a funny note, but we do have to sign off.
No, we
because
don't. Whoever called before 789-514, I don't want to end this. So let's just keep. I could do this for hours, just reminiscing. And well, it's that time. I'm just gonna. I don't want to end this at all. Well, as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. And thank you again so much.
from the bottom of both of our hearts and forever, we are grateful
Oh my God.
for those who have tuned in week in and week out, semester after semester, to Throw Like a Girl Radio.
And this is only the beginning for us. And people keep saying this is only the beginning, and I hope it's only the beginning because I don't know what I'm going to do after this. And thank you, everyone, for the support. And I don't want to end. Well, for one last time, I'm KaraAnne and Galante.
And I'm Alyssa Paolicelli.
Until next time, goodbye.